In business tonight, local company Solo Trading says it is continuing to make select items that are close to their best by date available to customers free of cost and in accordance with the island's laws. Now, the company first started the initiative a few years ago. General manager of the retailer Simon Jackson made the comment during an interview with the Business Report.
We do get a reasonable amount of goods that go out of date, and there's no use for them once they've gone out of date under the laws of the country. So the best thing we could do is actually, when they're coming up to the due time within the last week or so, we give them away to our customers. Really, we think the people support us, we should support the people that come and spend their hard-earned money with us.
Governor of the Central Bank of Barbados, Clevison Haynes, will deliver his organization's review of the island's economic performance in the first quarter of 2019 during a press conference next Thursday morning at 11. On that occasion, the central bank head will provide an update on some key economic indicators, including the level of international reserves, the debt to GDP ratio, unemployment and inflation. Now, in his last review of the economy at the start of this year, the governor said that no significant growth was expected for the year 2019. And it's time now to take a look at how those stocks traded, of course, on selected exchanges across our region.
We get started in Jamaica, where MPC Caribbean Clean Energy Limited was the volume leader with 2,692,300 units at $130 each, and they were followed by Carreras Limited and Wisynco Group Limited ordinary shares. In Trinidad and Tobago, National Flour Mills Limited was the volume leader with 94,462 shares changing hands for a value of $165,308.50, and they were followed by NCB Financial Group Limited and Unilever Caribbean Limited. And right here in Barbados, the West India Biscuit Company Limited was the volume leader, trading 500 shares at $24 each, and they were followed by Goddard Enterprises Limited and the Insurance Corporation of Barbados Limited.
And in international business, as the United States moves to end waivers for countries still buying Iranian oil, Tehran says it will continue to sell its supplies, warning that the U.S. will face consequences if it tries to stop it. Now, Iran's foreign minister says that keeping the world's main oil shipping route open is in the country's own interest, despite early threats to close it.
The continued policy aimed at reducing Iran's oil sales to zero is a major economic and national security concern here in Tehran. Some Iranians compare America's anti-Iran messaging to the rhetoric that preceded the invasion of Iraq in 2003. The sanctions regime is also reminiscent of Iraq after the first Gulf War in 1991. But Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei made it clear Iranian oil will continue to flow despite American intimidation.
We will export as much oil as we need and want. The enemy must know that this hostility won't remain without a response. The nation of Iran won't remain silent against U.S. hostility.
The consensus in Iran seems to be that war with America is unlikely, as the cost would be too high. There has been talk in Tehran of disrupting the Strait of Hormuz, which would wreak havoc on oil markets. But for now, it may just be saber-rattling.
What I'm saying is it is in our interest, it's our vital national security interest to keep the Persian Gulf open, to keep the Strait of Hormuz open.
But as long as sanctions continue to heighten tensions, what happens next remains unpredictable.